Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokémon TCG Center. Today's video we'll be looking at the deck from the Melbourne Internationals. Zach Lazash used this deck. This is his deck list. Probably maybe somebody else also used this deck list. I don't know. Noticing the Limitless, decided to test it out, give it a shout out, and it works pretty well. He finished at the second place, lost in the finals. I think that in the finals he played against Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team. No wonder, I actually still didn't watch that video. I should definitely check it out. Yeah, deck pretty much based around fire Pokemon. So the new Victini V actually gave a little bit of the fresh with that Spreading Flames attack, which says that you can attach up to 3 fire energy cards from your discard pile in any way you like to your Pokemons, which is a pretty badass attack. Also with the Energy Burst in the mirror matchup, you can cause a lot of trouble to your opponent with that Energy Burst, because you can does 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemons, which is really strong for only 2 energies. Something like a Mewtwo Psy Burst, I think it was, in the next Destinies. Additionally, there is also Victini, the old school baby boy Prism Star with Infinity that can also hit for plenty of damage counters. Pretty much depends on how many energies you have in the discard pile, theoretically for 320. Additionally, one Reshiram with Outrage, Flare Strike, Double Blaze. Also Heatran with the Burning Road, Hot Burn, and Steaming Stomp. Turtonator, another non-GX stacking Pokemon as well, with Explosive Jet, 2 copies of Vulpix and 9 Temptation Ninetales that can be used as a catcher. Pretty much a reasonable option while you run 18 energies in this deck. 1 copy of Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff-GX, which is really strong and can mainly be used against Mewtwo tag team decks, because they heavily relies on the GX Pokemons and the Deans on the bench, and with the Jumping Balloon with 3 energies, this card can hit really strong. And 3 copies of the Dean with the Dedenne in charge, and 4 Jirachis with that Stellar Wish. Pretty much interesting Pokemon setup. I should say almost a standard, with some other new cards like Victini and maybe Mega Lopunny as a tag. Additionally, from the trainer cards, there's 4 copies of Quick Ball, the new card from the Sword and Shield, which says that you can play this card only if you discard another card from your hand, which is very good for Victini attack bump up. You can search your deck for a basic Pokemon revealed and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Additionally, he plays 3 communications, 1 copy of Pal Pad, 2 copies of Fiery Flint, and then 4 switch cards. It's really important to keep going on with the switches, because once you use that Stellar Wish, if you don't have Escape Board, you can have switch. But it's really important to hit those Welders and power up as fast as possible, because Welder is mainly the only supporter card in this deck, which is just insane. 3 stadiums, 2 Giant Hearths, and 1 Heat Factory. Additionally, he played 2 Escape Boards, and I also like the fact of the Lucky Egg. If the Pokemon discard is knocked out, this card is attached to is knocked out by the damage from opponent's attack. Draw cards that have 7 in your hand, so you won't be decked out, or you won't be without resources. 18 fire energies, basic ones, and 4 copies of Welder. So that's pretty much the deck list that I'm gonna try to use in today's video. If you already didn't, please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more future videos and updates and deck profiles, and videos also from the live battles as well. Yeah, actually, I really like this deck. Speaking about consistency, I played it and it's really consistent. Speaking about investment, it is definitely a tier 1 deck, I should say that. Mewtwo is a tier 1 deck, Zacian ADP should be a tier 1 deck, and this probably also gonna be a tier 1 deck, and we can, yeah, those 3 decks are gonna definitely be in the top 3 decks at this moment in the format. I should say that this deck actually can melt easily Zacians. Depend if they play, you know, that fry pan, then they won't have weakness, but still really super strong. But yeah, speaking about the money investment, probably gonna cost you around 200 euros if you're located in Europe, probably around 230 US dollars if you're located in the United States. Not sure about Canada and Australia because they have different currency, but still not cheap deck to play. But you know, as always, top tier decks cost plenty of money. All right, so let's move to the game test where you can actually see this deck in action. I'm gonna play a game versus Obstagoon, so make sure to subscribe if you already didn't. Hit the likes up, which is definitely gonna help me. So see you in the game. All right, so as usual, I'm starting with coin flip, choosing the heads. And would you like to go first? I don't know why, but I always start first, just because I can technically try to get advantage with the setup. At least that's what I'm looking for. The truth is that the player that's going second can technically use ooh, nice. The player who goes second can actually use something like... I'm gonna go with the Reshiram for now, so I can attach energy to it. I'm gonna also trade that Victini for something like a Vulpix. Energy on Reshiram, Stellar Wish into the Quick Ball. Alright, so it wasn't the best. Alright, so what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Quick Ball one more time. And I'm gonna grab myself Jirachi number 2, put it on the bench, retreat. Try to use another Stellar Wish, then use Switch. Just a Pal Pad. Alright, actually we're not gonna use Switch for now. So put a train card from a discard pile back in your hand with Load Search. Really good attack for 1 energy. So we are playing against Galarian Obstagoon deck. So 1 damage counter with Galarian Zigzagoon. A very powerful deck, I should say that. I don't know why my opponent decided to put 1 damage counter onto my Jirachi instead of the Reshiram, so he can have Obstagoon with 4 damage counters and then something like, let's say, okay, so there's a damage on the Reshiram. With 4 damage counters and, yeah, so I think... Alright, let me see first. Heat Factory. I'm still searching for that welder desperately, but I can't find it. And I don't like that at all. So let's see if we can have a little bit more of luck. Okay, gonna grab myself that Ninetales. And we'll try to use another Stellar Wish. Nope, I don't see it. Unfortunately, I don't see it. So what about Fiery Flint for a couple more energies? At least what I can do, I can try to bump up those energies into my discard pile and then use my Victini into the advantage. Meanwhile, I will use 9 Temptations, put it in the active position, that Galarian Zigzagoon, use a Quick Ball, and decide to use that Dedenne-GX, so I can potentially have something like a Welder in addition to that, and there it is. I'm gonna definitely go with 2 energies and a Welder play. And there's the Lucky Egg as well. Right now I can technically swing with the GX for 200, but we really don't want to do that. But against this deck I could do that, for example. I'll use rather Victini. And we'll put some energies to him, so I could potentially start attacking at my next turn. So there is 6, 10, 13 energies in play, which is a very high amount of energies, and there is a rare candy for that Obstagoon, and my opponent decided to put 3 damage counters on Victini instead, so he might be looking for the knockout against the Victini here, who knows. Another energy attached to Sableye. This attack does 10 plus 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. And as expected, he literally one-hit knocked me out. Alright. We're definitely not gonna need Ninetales, that's for sure. Additionally, we can maybe grab a Turtonator is a good call. Heatran might also be very useful. But let me first see what I can find with a Stellar Wish, Giant Hearth, and a Switch. Gonna rather go with a Switch. We'll definitely need one. Well, since I don't have energies, I just have 2 Welders. Nothing I can really do with them. Alright, no question about it. Flare Strike is the way to go, and I can take 2 prize cards. Next turn my opponent can be very close for the knockout and for the 3 prize card play. Hopefully that's just not gonna happen. Meanwhile, I will try to somehow catch those Leons and the Zigzagoons on the bench. Not gonna be easy for sure. There is a Ordinary Road. So if I will have 4 damage counters on my Reshiram, my opponent will go for 240 to 50. So that's gonna be easy one-hit knockout. And even worse, there is a Shrine of Punishment. So I need to I only need to find another energy card. Another fire energy will bring me the knockout against that Sableye, and then I should be safe. No doubt about it. But I also need to worry about a little bit about my energies in the discard pile. So there is another Zigzagoon, and 1 damage will go to Reshiram, and then Shrine, and then another Shrine, and then even the Dean is very close to be knocked out. Okay, that's definitely not what I was hoping for. At least I have Switch, and a Stellar Wish, and another Switch. Okay, right, not bad. First, I'm gonna use Giant Hearth. 3 energies left, so yeah, that's not good. In discard pile 10, 14, 16, 17, 18. Oof, it's gonna be rough, definitely. We wanna use that 9 Temptations, no doubt about it. And we want to go for the knockout versus Sableye. Additionally, Stellar Wish into the Communication. I already have 2 Welders, so it's not that I need them. Another Switch for the Reshiram, and that should be a Flare Strike. So my biggest concern at this moment is, will I have enough energies? Okay, so there is 1 energy, so that should be fine, since I have 1 more energy card left in my deck for the Infinity, and then I can recycle them back all into my deck, which is pretty good. Custom Catcher for 3, always good to see Custom Catcher waste for nothing, just for the draw. Another Obstagoon, 3 damage on the Jirachi, very close. My opponent is very close for the game finish here. What I can do here, I can only attach energy to my Victini. attach something like a Lucky Egg, play that Communication so I can get rid of some of the cards, grab that Dedenne in case if I will need it. And will Outrage be enough for the knockout? Unfortunately, it won't be enough for the knockout. Not gonna need Turtonator for sure. I think right now it is a perfect time for me to say that I can use that Welder, retreat my Reshiram onto my Victini, and use that Infinity so I can recycle back all of my energies into my deck. The reason why I decided to do that is simple because if my opponent knocks me out, I will lose Reshiram, plus he might even resist me down to 1, and I didn't want to risk that, even losing all of the energies. But at this moment, since I have Welder and Fiery Flint, I should be perfectly fine. There is another custom catcher, so he probably won't be able to catch the Reshiram on the bench anyways. And with that being said, the only thing that he can potentially do is hope for maybe that Ninetales and another double custom catcher play. Load Search might be for the reset stamp. Nope, for the Cynthia, but Giant Hearth can allow me to get 2 energies, and with the Welder I can attach 2 of the energies. Okay, there was confusion. I was not quite sure if I attached both of them. So I can definitely retreat and hit with another Flare Strike for 230, knocking out that Victini out from the game. So guys, you actually noticed how powerful this Reshiram deck is, and also how consistent deck really is. I'm wondering which cards my opponent played in his deck. So he used Mew, he Ninetales GX, 4 copies of Obstagoon, 1 Ninetales, 1 Mew, and 4 Sableye Wheeze. Alright. From the trainer cards, Communications, Gears, Ordinary Road, 1 Reset Stamp, Quick Balls, Rare Candies, Custom Catchers, Switches, Black Market, Shrines, Cynthia, Research, and Marnie. I would probably consider maybe playing 1 copy of Great Catcher, because it's just way too good, and the Great Catcher is the way to go against ADP, for example, and even Reshiram. So yeah, that was pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Until the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.